Hey folks, Tim the Moto Man here, back in the garage. We're going to do another mod on the 2024 Tiger 900 Rally Pro. I've got a sat-nav mounting system from Evotech Performance. With the 2024 TFT screen, there's been some changes, so the Evotech part number for the 2024 is going to be different than the 2020 through 2023s. So this will fit the 2024. I'm also going to install this ThunderBox. I went a little bit overboard. I've got a lot of connections here, more than I'll ever need, but it is what it is. I made a mistake when I ordered. I got the U02 instead of the U01. I basically have twice the connections. We'll start by removing the top screws from the windshield. And when we remove the screws, this bracket back here will come loose. We'll use the 5mm Allen wrench to do that. Next, we'll just remove the lower screws from the windshield. So now we just want to pop this plastic piece off here. And we'll remove these 4 screws here to take this piece off. Next, we'll use our 8mm socket to take these 4 bolts out to remove the TFT display. I have a towel here so that we can just set it aside. We're not going to unplug it. We're just going to pull this out and put the other pieces in between. These 4 washers also need to come out. They might come out when you take the bolts out. In this case, mine didn't. They were stuck to these rubber grommets here. There are new mounting bosses that will go in these holes. So with the screen off, we'll take this part here. Just put it like that. Make sure that it's facing the correct way with this part out. We'll use the mounting boss and the flange bolt that comes with the kit. Well, I've got this part off. I'm going to go ahead and clean it back here and just make sure all my connections still look good. We'll go ahead and put this on now. We're not going to tighten it down altogether. This can be adjusted later. But before I put the windscreen on, I'm going to put this on just in case I drop these locking washers here. These locking washers will remain inside. Fuck. Yeah, pretty easy to drop. But these guys go in here. And we'll leave it loose for now. We can adjust it after the fact. I've got this on and ran my wire up the middle. Just kind of have it loosely dangling here for the moment. Now we're just going to put the windscreen back on, and there is a part for the windshield adjuster. So when we're putting on the windshield, we'll just put these bottom 2 hand tight, and then this guy just goes right there on the inside. I'm going to try to reuse these rubber washers just to stop that vibration. I couldn't tell if you're supposed to do that per the instructions, but I don't think it'll hurt, so I'm going to try it out. So I've got my mount for my Zumo XT ready to go. I'll just use the supplied hardware to attach it. Before I tighten the other 2, I'm just going to put it in place and see how it looks. I still haven't tightened this down yet, but it's a pretty good mounting mechanism. I think that's going to work nicely. So what I decided to do, I'm just gonna use the automatic mode, and you just leave this white control wire disconnected. If you want it so that when you turn your ignition on but the engine isn't running, you can tap into like a running light or something that's hot when the ignition is on. With this automatic mode, what it does is it kind of monitors the voltage that's coming through. So as the engine is running, it will recognize that, and after a few seconds of the engine starting, it'll power up. I might change this in the future for some other applications that I'll be adding, but I think for now this will be easy enough. And really the most difficult part is trying to figure out where to put it. It's got some double-sided tape on it for Velcro, and you'll want to be able to see this light to see if it's working properly. So I think I'm going to nestle it back down in there out of the way, and then I can just run my 2 wires, and then I'll have my ports that I can also kind of hide back out of the way. The main thing is you want to make sure that this case will still go over your battery, so that shouldn't be a problem. The case should be like right about there, and then this will be kind of out of the way. So we're going to disconnect the battery leads. I had hardwired my GPS directly into the battery. I'm going to cut those leads off and use these terminals for it. So let's just get everything disconnected, and we will attach the red and the black wire to the terminals accordingly. As always, the rule with batteries is keep it positive, so remove the negative first, then the positive, and when you put the wires back on, go positive first, then put the negative on. The slowly blinking green light indicates that it is hooked up and essentially on standby. You really don't have to worry about this draining your battery. It would be negligible, but after 24 hours, it'll kind of shut itself off as well. And these are the 2 wires for my GPS, so I'm going to cut these ends off and strip them, and then we'll connect black to one of the black terminals and the red to one of the green terminals. Then we'll hook up the Garmin, fire up the engine, and see how everything runs. Alright, the SATCOM wires are hooked up. I'm going to turn the ignition on. And what should happen when I start the engine up is this light will turn on, but also after a few seconds my Garmin will power up. Hey Ruby, what are you doing, girl? Hey. Good girl, good girl. Alright, so we'll fire up the bike again. So notice the Garmin doesn't come on, the instrument panel is on once I fire it up. So I'll need to reset the date because I've disconnected the battery because it thinks that I need maintenance. So now it'll power down. Go. Yes. All right, I will tuck this away, tuck my wires in, put everything back up. So that's it, y'all. I mean, it's pretty easy. Take this stuff off, put this stuff on, install the ThunderBox, clean up your wires, and you're good to go. The most difficult part is really running the wire for the GPS, which I had already done, so you'll have to take some side panels off and stuff like that, but I did that a few months ago. I didn't feel like recording it. Thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate the support. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.